for the crop. But it does it better.
Yeah, but you are so money and you don't even know it.
I understood that reference.
Morning, Mr. Hammond.
Your mission,
should you accept it, steal, destroy, shadow, disappear.
assemble the team.
And here we go.
Greetings and salutations. This is Freewheeling Fridays. This is the show where we introduce some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote Channel, and Madness Entertainment Group is so quick to the chat box, saying, in the words of Razor Ramon, "Hey yo, so we take a little survey." Sorry, that's a pro wrestling reference. I digress. Matthew Creek says, hi. Good to see you, Matthew. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Don't forget, if you're just joining us for Freewheeling Fridays, don't forget to like and share this with your closest friends. If you're watching us live on the replay, thank you for being here. And if you have any questions for our guests I'm about to introduce you here, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. More than happy to hear from you. And also, we like to talk about all things pop culture. So if you want to take things off the rails, hence the reason we call it Freewheeling Fridays, go off the rails a little bit? Sure, fine. What have you. Please welcome, indie writer and colorist who apparently has a color wheel behind him in his studio. That's a first for me if I've ever heard one. W. Frank Walk is in the building. Hello, good sir. How are you?
Hey. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being here. Do we call you W or should we call you Frank? Which one is it?
Just call me Frank.
All right. Because you got a lot of letters, a lot of words here, so I'm not really sure how I should address this professionally because we do things professionally around here. You know, we try to make things look good, smell good. I can't help it that we can dance all night long. Sorry, that's a Ric Flair-ism right there. I don't know if you're into wrestling or not, but...
80s and 90s, man. I was born in the 80s, so 80s and 90s for me, it was all about wrestling.
So I take it when you saw Macho Man at the top of the show, it was like, I remember that guy.
Oh, Macho Man, come on. You don't even have to be a wrestling fan to love Macho Man.
That's true. All we got to do is snap into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that ad show up on Monday Nitros and Thunders when I was watching the Monday Night Wars between WCW and the WWF, as it was known by at the time. Okay, right. I know it's WWE now, but back then it was known as WWF. So no offense, not trying to get anyone's feathers ruffled here, but as it was called. Just out of curiosity, though, did you have a favorite wrestler or a couple of favorite wrestlers?
Oh man, Taker for sure. Undertaker, absolutely.
The dead man. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, and I loved the Ultimate Warrior back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I just always felt like he got the shaft in the long run, though, as far as the career went.
That's true. I'll give you that. Do you watch his podcast 6 Feet Under with the Undertaker? You watch that?
Yeah, every now and again. I'll kick it on in the background, or I'll kick on Stone Cold's every now and again too.
Yeah. I believe it's called Broken Skull Sessions or Broken Skull Podcast with Stone Cold. Is that it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've seen an episode or two of Stone Cold's podcast. Undertaker's, I've seen clips of it, but I've never sat down and either watched or listened to an episode of 6 Feet Under. But that's a great name for your podcast, Undertaker. That'll stick out like a sore thumb. Am I right, Frank? Am I right? Yeah.
Couldn't be better.
I know, right? But let's see. Matthew says, I just shared this out for you guys on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Keep sharing this out. Let's get more eyeballs on this bad boy. Madness Entertainment, also known as Pop, says, it's not even 11 p.m. yet. Laugh out loud. I'm not even ready for this show yet, bro. Well, I'm sorry, Pops, but, we're having a good time. We just wanted to roll into the studio a bit early. Matthew says, I found your comic before. Really? Are you talking about Frank's comic or someone else's? I'm not sure. Maybe you're talking about yours, which we're going to talk about here momentarily. Outside of wrestling, I'm just curious. When did you start reading comics, Frank? When did it start for you?
Oh, for me, it started probably about the time I could read.
Oh, wow.
I would go to the barber shop, and he always had a stack of comics there to keep the kids entertained while they waited for their turn. So yeah, for me, that's when it started. Was in the 80s.
Great decade, if I remember correctly. I wasn't there for most of it. I'm sorry, but full disclosure, I wasn't born until the tail end of it. So sorry, born in the 80s, but I was raised in the 90s. With all due respect, okay. With all due respect, I've watched reruns of 80s animated television series and some of the other stuff as well that was airing originally in the 80s. Just so you guys are aware, like MacGyver. You know, I've seen reruns of MacGyver. I may have seen a rerun or two of Knight Rider. What was another one? There was G.I. Joe maybe showed up on my TV set once or twice. I can't remember. Like I said, it's kind of hazy because I didn't start watching television until the 90s. That's just me personally. I can't speak for everybody.
Right.
But good picks. What were some of the first comics you remember reading? What were some of the characters you were drawn to, or maybe even writers or artists that stood out to you?
The very first comic I even remember reading was a kind of obscure character. I believe his name was Speedball.
Really?
Yeah. I liked the bright colors and the fact that he used like I don't even remember like he like summoned like velocity orbs or something like that. I don't remember. I think he had a later appearance in like the early 2000s or something too. But that was the very first one I ever remember reading. But I really always gravitated towards like Ghost Rider. I loved Ghost Rider, especially as a young kid, just because I thought he was badass. I mean, you're talking leather, metal chains, flaming skull. That drew me in completely. And then, of course, you have X-Men and Spider-Man, which were also all over the place.
Good names too. Good titles. Never heard of Speedball. But the character kind of reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I played Sega Genesis growing up, and one of the games we played was Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or 2. I think it was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Can't remember. It was one of them. But yeah, Sonic was kind of somewhat of a big deal in our house when we were playing Sega Genesis. Sega! Don't forget about that, guys. Sega! So, fun times playing video games, guys. Let's see here. Brendan Marr, good friend Brennan, says hello there to everybody. Hello, Brennan. Good to see you. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. And then Matthew was referring to, he says he found your comment before, Hellstone. There you go. See?
Oh, right on.
You're already winning here, man. You've been on the show for less than 10 minutes, and already Frank's winning this whole thing.
Trying to spread the word.
I mean, that's what we say to people at the top of the show. You're so money, Frank. You just don't even know it. You're like a big bear, man.
Right.
So, which we'll talk more about that later. Trust me, we will. And then you mentioned Spider-Man, X-Men. Those were big deals. I get that. And by the way, Ghost Rider, I'm just curious. What are your thoughts on the not-so Academy Award-winning film Ghost Rider with Nick Cage? What'd you think of the movie? When it came out in 2006, 2007, whatever it was, or 2004, I think it was, how'd you feel about it?
I thought it was fun. And that's about it.
That's it?
That's about it. Didn't care for the casting of Nick Cage as Ghost Rider. Didn't care for the story. Felt a little loose, but it was fun. It was fun. We got to see Ghost Rider, so that was awesome.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have Eva Mendes in your movie either, does it?
Oh yeah, or Sam Elliott.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry, I was just handed a note here from one of our producers. But no, I get that. Yeah, I just did a rewatch of it because you can watch it for free on YouTube with ads right now. Ghost Rider, the original one with Nick Cage and Eva Mendes, and Peter Fonda's in that too. Let's not forget about that. Donald Logue is in that too, and Donald Logue was in Blade. So there you go. Fun facts for you Marvel fanatics. Yeah, I watched it, and I'm thinking to myself, this is like 3 separate movies. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
At times it's goofy, right? It's silly, bombastic, right? And then you get the serious with making a deal with the devil stuff between, what was it, Johnny Blaze, trying to save his dad, and Roxanne, and Eva Mendes comes into the picture, and she's kind of reluctant to, dive back into the romantic waters again, but she does it anyway. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of convincing for her to like Nick Cage and for her to fall in love with him. They fall in love pretty quickly, don't they? That's kind of...
Oh, yeah.
They shove that one down your throat a little bit. Sorry, even though I love you, Eva Mendes, I always have and always will. I'm just saying, but still. And then they had a sequel come out a couple years later, Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance. I'm sure you didn't see that, did you? Or you did see it?
I'm sure I did. Doesn't ring a bell, though.
Okay. All right. Well, by the way, in case you want to go back, even though you may not want to, and that's okay, both movies are free with ads right now on YouTube if you want to stream the Ghost Rider 1 and 2. So there you go. No. Hashtag not a sponsor of this. I mean, we stream on YouTube, but at the same time, like, it's produced by Marvel. So we're not saying that Marvel's our hashtag sponsor, but if they want to be, call us maybe. I don't know. Matthew says, I liked the movie Ghost Rider. And then he says, I loved the part where the demon begs for mercy. And Ghost Rider says, sorry, all out of mercy.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there were some badassery parts. Well, not some, but there were a few.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Badassery parts in the movie? I don't know. I can't remember. Outside of Ghost Rider, do you have a favorite Marvel movie?
Favorite Marvel movie?
Yeah, do you have a favorite? Well, it could be something that either
yeah.
came before the MCU or during or after the MCU, whichever one.
Sure. No, not really.
Wow. Okay. Well, do you have any favorite comic book movies that you want to tell us?
I liked Blade movies. I thought they were cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome to bring Blade to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
But I've enjoyed like all the Marvel runs, but they've always just felt a little all over the place for me. They're of course they're entertaining, they're fun, but none that I've been like, oh, that's my jam. I'm glad they finally did that. Deadpool's great. It's everything that you would expect out of a Deadpool movie, so you can't go wrong with that. Or the series, rather. Deadpool Wolverine was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. You know, some movies may work for people, some others may not, and that's okay. That's okay. Wow, you're one of the few people who said, "Yeah, I don't really have a favorite comic book movie. I don't even know what it is." No, but it's fine. But it's fine. We've met people from all different parts of the globe, different things that they're into, and sometimes once in a blue moon, people will say to me, "Yeah, I don't really watch comic book movies. It's not really my thing." Or maybe I've seen a few of them and I liked them, but I didn't really like dive super into it.
Sure.
If you know what I mean? Like maybe I'm not a diehard comic book movie fan, but I respect the genre.
Sure. I get that too. For me, I just struggle with picking favorites on anything.
Oh, okay. You just struggle. Okay, so
I just struggle.
So basically, what you're trying to tell me and the person who's watching and listening to this right now is hashtag the struggle is real.
The struggle is real, my man.
Is what you is what you get it. All right. Well, no. It's cool. It's one of the questions we like to ask each one of our guests. You know, what are some of your favorite comic movies, or do you have any favorite comic book artists or writers? Any names stand out to you?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think?
I like as far as the inspirations for me. So I'm a colorist by trade, and I like some big inspirations to me are like Rochelle Rosenberg, K. Michael Russell, Nick Filardi, Jordi Belair. They're all super fantastic. I highly recommend everyone to check out their work. Again, I'm a colorist, and I know a lot of people probably don't know a lot of colorists. We tend not to get our names on the covers or anything like that, but go check them out.
All right. There you go. Good names. Good names to bring up for those of you who may not be familiar with these individuals. You might want to check out their portfolios, check out their work. Fantastic stuff. Geek. By the way, this is a unique name. Geekmen Masters of the Thunder Nerds says, "Hey y'all, what's up, man? How you doing?" Geekmen Masters of the Thunder Nerds. That is.
I love it.
I gotta tell you, they've chimed in on a number of shows, and they're one of the most unique and coolest usernames I've seen on social media. I don't know how you feel about it, Frank, but my gosh,
big fan.
That always helps.
Yeah, the avatar there kind of reminds me of a knockoff of a Thundercats logo a bit there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Were you a Thundercats fan?
Huge.
Do you have all the toys? Do you have any of the comics?
No. I kind of stopped. Back in 2005,
Sure.
We had a house fire and
lost, I'm so sorry.
Lost everything.
Oh man!
So I kind of stopped collecting stuff at that point, just because the fear of losing it all again was just horrible. So yeah, so I'm not a big collector really anymore.
Moved on to other things, I see.
A little bit.
I'm sorry to hear about that house fire, though. That's devastating, man.
Yeah, super horrible. Luckily, I was the only one home, and nobody got hurt. So,
yeah, I mean that's good, but I am sorry that your collection is no longer with you. That's a huge, unfortunate loss. I'm sorry, man. But all we can do is pick up and move forward, right?
That's right.
Yeah. As I don't know if you saw this movie or not, but it reminds me of what Alfred said. Why do we fall, sir? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up. You ever see Batman Begins? I'm assuming you've seen it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I know you haven't seen a whole lot of comic movies, but come on, man. You've had to have seen the Chris Nolan trilogy. Come on.
Oh yeah. All
right. It's kind of iconic, bro. I mean, did you have any idea how close Dark Knight was to be nominated for Best Picture because of that?
No, but I'm not surprised.
So good. Geekman Master of the Thunder says, yes, our username, it is laugh out loud. Yes, it is unique. It is cool. So we'll give you credit where credit is due. So what inspired you to become a colorist? What was it?
Well, I've always been an artist. I've always been a creative person. And I was kind of like, I'm good at a lot of stuff, but I'm not great at anything. So I did some soul searching and tried to find what made me happy, what I really liked and wanted to throw myself into. And back in 2019, I determined that it was the coloring process. And I like figuring out that puzzle of how light and color and shadow and reflections and how all of those things play together to help tell a story or set a mood. And that's why I went down the path of becoming a colorist. It's really that simple. I just love it. It's just a puzzle to me, and my ADHD brain loves being able to hyper focus in on something like that.
Good stuff. What are some of your favorite characters or comics or series, whatever it is, that you've been a colorist on that you really enjoyed?
Oh, one that I really enjoyed lately is it's a project that's not out yet, but it's actually a parody on The Dark Knight 3. And there's so many fantastic artists on this. It's through a group that's an offshoot of the cartoonist Kayfabe group, if you're familiar with them at all. But they usually put together a book once or usually about once a year, and then the proceeds go towards something. And this one's a work in progress, but it's a lot of fun. They don't take themselves seriously at all, aside from the artwork. And it's more or less, what if Batman died? What if he just got capped? Let's tell that story. So that one's been a lot of fun. I also just got done working with Shattermare Comics. They're an indie comic producer out of Florida. And I was the colorist on the Mercenary Guild, the first book for the Mercenary Guild. And that was a lot of fun. Luke Aglietta was the line artist on that, and we got to know each other really well. That was a lot of fun. I believe they just wrapped up a lot of their crowdfunding for that.
Wow, that's cool. Oh, nice. Well, congratulations on that. Congratulations on working on those projects and other things as well. I know how a comic basically works, but I haven't met too many, inkers or colorists. I mean, I think you're the first colorist I've ever met, to be perfectly honest with you. I've met inkers, but colorists, because it takes a village, right? It takes a team to build these comics and put these together themselves. They don't do it themselves. But what I'm saying is this is a bit of a unique or a cool experience for me to meet a colorist such as yourself, because you have a different perspective and a different mindset than a lot of the people we've had here on set. And that's great. I'm not saying it's a bad thing whatsoever. I'm saying we appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think the person watching or listening to this would appreciate it. And the Madness Entertainment Group goes on to say, Luke is a cool dude.
Yeah, Luke's the man.
Well, Luke, hey, if you're in the area, if you're on social media, let us know. Maybe we'll put you on a future episode. You can dive into the Freewheeling Fridays in the future. Or if you want to say hi to your boy here, let us know. We'll figure something out. Grayson the Overcomer, who's a friend of ours, has a question. He says, Todd McFarlane, Greg Capullo, or Frank Miller, who you picking?
Oh, man, I think Capullo. Yeah.
Going with Greg?
I am, yeah.
All right, Greg. Good stuff there. Nothing wrong with Greg Capullo and who's his co-worker? Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder. That's it.
Yeah, Scott Snyder. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff for DC, a lot of stuff for Batman. I'm sure you've seen a lot of that work. My goodness, Court of Owls. Anybody? Deep stuff. I'm just saying, it's dark. But then again, Batman's always been dark, gritty, brooding. Happens all the time. Here's another one for you. Do you have a favorite Batman movie? I'm just curious. Is it Dark Knight?
It is Dark Knight.
It is Dark. Okay, so because 99% of the human population has always said, "Oh yeah, Dark Knight's my favorite." I'm like, really? You do realize there's 30 other options you could have picked, right? So,
no, Dark Knight is fantastic. To me, it's about the rewatchability as well.
Oh, okay.
And don't get me wrong, the older movies from the 80s and 90s, Keaton, Val Kilmer, they were all fantastic and great, and really put comics in a spotlight that they hadn't really been in before on the big screen. Great, but I can't really go back and watch those. So far, The Dark Knight I can go back and watch, even though it's been almost 20 plus years at this point. So
yeah. 2000. Originally, it came out in 2008. So in 2028, it'll be 20 years. I know I'm dating ourselves, guys. I'm so sorry. It happens sometimes, Frank. So just go with me on this, man. It's the years. And it's funny because earlier tonight on Anti-Code channel, you can find this on the Movie Nerds and DC Nerds playlist that we have on our channel, respectively. We just did a 30th anniversary watch along for Batman Forever, honoring the memory of Val Kilmer.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, because Batman Forever turns 30 this year. So we did the watch along earlier tonight. So if you want, I can send you the link to the footage and you can go back and watch that whenever you, or have it on in the background. That's fine too. I'll send it over your way, Frank. How's that sound? A little bit of a Batman present for you.
Let's do it.
That sounds like that sounds like fun. No worries, by the way, no worries. Let's see. Geekman Master of the Thunder Nerd says the following: everyone I talked to says the OG Batman, which I believe you're referring to Michael Keaton's '89 film, or are you referring to '66 with Adam West and Burt Ward? I'm not sure, but for me, it's definitely Dark Knight. Okay, understandable. I get it. Grayson the Overcomer says he made a great choice by saying Greg Capullo. So you're not in any danger here, Frank, of being kicked off the show. Grayson's not going to kick you off the show. He couldn't do it anyway because he's over here in the audience and I'm the one sitting in the host/producer chair. So you can't call the shots around here, Grayson. You can ask questions of him though if you want to ask questions. We got time for questions. Geekman says specifically I was referring to Keaton in my earlier statement. Okay.
Gotcha.
Keaton is OG for I listen. I know Adam West, Burt Ward, the 60s, that whole thing came before Tim Burton never put his film on screen. But for me personally, just me personally, Frank, yeah. OG Batman, when someone says OG Batman, I'm referring to Keaton. That's who I'm referring to.
Sure.
Sorry. Hashtag not my Batman is Adam West. He's just hashtag not my Batman. And here's another one for you. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but some people, I would put this on some people put this on the interwebs. Hashtag not canon for me is Batman and Robin. That movie never happened.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, I would put on social media right now, hashtag not canon, hashtag Batman and Robin never happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Just throwing that out there. I don't know how you feel, but okay, great. We're all in agreement here. We can be friends now. So for those you I'm just joshing you. But
all
for
that
those
matters to me is that Grayson believes I made a great choice with Greg Capullo.
Exactly.
That's really all that matters.
That's what matters, Grayson. So there you go. If you have any other questions, by the way, here's the free stuff for you guys. If you're just joining us on Freewheeling Fridays, hello there. Don't forget to like and share this. If you're joining us live on the replay, thank you for doing that. If you have any questions for Frank, our guest of the week, guest of the episode, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. I'm more than happy to take those as they come in, and all that kind of jazz. Just throwing that out there. Let's see here. Grayson says, asking me to choose my favorite Batman is like asking me to choose my favorite of the five senses. I can't do it. I need them all. Are you? Jeez. Grayson. Oh, man. I can't choose. I need all 500 flavors of them. No, I don't think you need the George Clooney flavor. Hashtag never happened. But that, listen, that's just Frank and I saying that. Oh, good Lord. Favorite video games growing up or some of your favorite video games to play now, Frank? Do you have any thoughts on video games?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's dive into it for a minute here. What are some of your favorites or some that you can go back to?
For me, Super Mario Brothers 1 and Super Mario Brothers 3, I can go back to those at any time. Anytime. And I will always have a good time. Sonic the Hedgehog, man, like you said, in the early to mid 90s, Sega kind of was my jam. I don't know if you remember back in the day, there was a thing called Sega Channel. Where you
I think I do, yeah.
Yeah, where you could actually stream games over your cable service directly into your Sega.
Oh, geez.
That was the business right there, man. But yeah, that was it for me back then. Things like Earthworm Jim and stuff like that. But currently, I'm digging a lot of I'm big into D&D and fantasy, so I'm liking Baldur's Gate 3 a whole bunch. I love the God of War series. That's a lot of fun. That's where I'm at in modern times, really.
I remember playing God of War many years ago when it was on Xbox or PlayStation, whichever one it was. I can't remember. But I do remember playing that. It's a good call. And when you said Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm like, yeah, because when I hear the pring, pring, that's us getting all the hundreds of thousands of golden rings, the points, right? You know, it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers when you hit the the bricks, and the things pop out. You get them, you get the points. You know what I mean? Right? You know,
Even you just mimicking the noise gives me some sort of like Pavlovian response where I'm getting chills right now. Like I did a good thing.
are you serious? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a problem. It's a problem. But
I'm sorry. I don't mean to aggravate you if it's
we're working through it.
We'll work it through. Okay. So, but yeah, Sega. By the way, when you mentioned Sega Channel, I thought I remembered it, but I wasn't. I don't remember that specifically, but I do remember. What was it? Didn't Sega Genesis have their own magazine, or was it just video gamer magazines like Nintendo or Power magazines or whatever?
And then there was Nintendo Power.
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah.
But I don't know if Sega actually had their own.
They have one?
Not. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, why wouldn't they? Everyone was doing it.
I don't know. Maybe they did or did. Does anyone else know about that? If you're a gamer out there and you know your gaming history, let us know if Sega Genesis or some of the other video game distributors had their own magazines. Nintendo Power was everywhere. I mean, that thing ran. What do you call it? Ran the gamut, like freaking bro. My brothers had Nintendo Power magazines because they wanted the cheat codes to the games. They wanted to get the behind the scenes secrets, or they wanted to get the codes, or what do you call it? The combos, right? The combos that you would push on your controllers. It was too much matters to explain in one text. That's just me. And Geekman Masters of Thunders has a question here. They say, do you plan on campaigning and doing the whole hashtag movement for hashtag release the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever? You know what? It's funny you mentioned that because we brought that up a number of times during our Batman Forever watch along, 30th anniversary watch along, mind you, that you can find on our Movie Nerds and DC Nerd playlist on, where am I pointing to? Where am I at? Well, like, it's not on screen right now. There it is. Anti-Quote Channel. Go to Anti-Quote Channel on YouTube. Watch the footage. Am I going to like leading the campaign? No. But am I a proponent of them releasing a director's cut of a film that should have been released from the get-go? Yes. Just like Snyder got his director's cut, Richard Donner of Superman 2 got his director's cut out, right, Frank? So I think it's only fair that Joel Schumacher gets his director's cut of Batman Forever released to the public so that we can see it and see what would have been with Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman and all these other characters and actors that were thrown into the mix, and see how good it really could have been. Because when I watch it nowadays, Frank, it's two very different movies.
Oh absolutely.
So,
now, I'm a huge fan of director's cuts on all films.
All films.
All films. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of doing a disservice to the director and the story they wanted to portray when it just keeps getting chopped and chopped and chopped by the production companies.
Yeah. For sure, I would love to see the director, but no, I'm not leading the charge. But if someone wants me to help with it, I get help with that. Grayson says Frank is based. He stands unchallenged among all the Franks and has a great taste in video games. Everyone's giving you kudos here, brother. They're giving you kudos. How about some kudos here, huh?
A little known fact about Franks is you never see really more than one in a room because we go by Highlander rules, and there can be only one, and we will have to fight to the death.
Okay, that's a point I didn't think anyone would bring up on this show, but thanks for doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Grayson says, for me, it's Zelda, Chrono Trigger, and Age of Empress 2 is goated.
Chrono Trigger's great. Yeah, sure.
I never played it, Grayson. I don't think I've played Chrono Trigger, Age of Empires 2, but I have played a little bit of Zelda. It's okay. I'm not a big Zelda fan, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's fine. I don't know. Let's see here. Matthew's trying to make some statements or questions. I'm not sure where he's going with this. Banjo, Tooie, or Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door? Or have we moved on? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me, Frank. Do you know what he's referring to when it comes to Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door, or Banjo Tooie?
I know their games.
Okay. Are you familiar? Have you played any of them?
No.
Okay. Well, there you go. Grayson says, cue the Highlander reference. Frank is a true man of culture.
Very old culture, but yes.
That's an 80s classic as Highlander, man. My God. I finally saw Highlander for the first time a couple years ago, Frank, and I got to tell you, it's really good.
The concept is really solid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe the execution is a bit cheesy in places, but it works.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you got a soundtrack by Queen, so.
Right.
You can't go wrong with that. Who are some of your favorite bands or musicians? Do you have favorite singers?
Oh man, I'm all over the board when it comes to music.
Okay.
What
do you got?
I've really been liking. It's a little bit controversial, but I like the band Ghost a lot. they're not really like death metal, but they're definitely like metal inspired with all of their imagery and theatrics. But let's see. So, man, what else have I been big on lately? Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
It's okay. It's okay.
Drawing a blank. Yeah,
it's okay. It's all right. I mean,
huge Metallica fan.
I like Metallica. They're not bad. They're good. Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
Which was Sting, the pro wrestler Sting's theme song when he was walking out to the ring during his later years in WCW. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
It was this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I grew up watching the icon known as Sting on WCW.
Yeah.
Because when you're NWO, Frank, you're NWO for life. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was a big Wolfpack fan growing up, man. Big Wolfpack fan. I'm dead. Yeah, I like that. And then when they did, granted, when they joined forces at the end between NWO Red and Black, and then Black and White, they all came together and they called themselves the NWO Elite. Like, don't really know why you did that, but whatever. It's still NWO, and I'm NWO for life. So I'm just throwing it out there, brother. Yeah. I could talk about wrestling all night, man.
So your pivotal years were 90s.
It was 98 to 2006 is when I watched wrestling full time. Okay. Full time wrestling was 98 to 2006. So I watched the latter part of the Monday Night Wars, and then after they bought WCW and didn't do a very good job with the assets of it, at least in the beginning anyway. Watching until 2006, I think it was when Batista or Cena became the champion for like the nth time, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this. You guys are putting the same 2 or 3 people over as the world champ, and I'm tired of it.
Sure. So were you a little bit too young for like the grunge movement? A
little bit. My brothers had the, because I have 2 older brothers, so they had the CDs. So I didn't really hear Nirvana until later on. But I don't. Nirvana's got some good music. I don't mind it.
Sure. Yeah. To me, that's the stuff that I was, raised on, so to speak. Those were my like junior high school years. Was like Nirvana, Tool, Perfect Circle, Garbage, all of that stuff back then. And then, your punk bands, Rancid, Social Distortion, all of that stuff was the stuff that was core for me back then. And then, of course, spending my first decade in the 80s, lots of fun 80s music, lots of, synth pop.
Yes, synth pop. Who could forget about that? Whether it's, the Paul Abduls, the Phil Collins, the Michael Jacksons, the Brad Fiedels, who did the score for The Terminator, which is one of the most iconic movies and iconic scores in film history. Brad Fiedel nailed it, man. I mean, come on. And by the way, for those of you wondering, yes, The Terminator is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Terminator's great.
To me, well, here's another thing. I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, but very few people are willing to admit when a film is perfect. In my opinion, The Terminator, the original, I'm not talking about T2 because that's a completely separate animal. The Terminator from 1984, that's when it came out, guys, is a perfect movie, in my opinion. It's just an opinion. I'm not stating this as fact. It's an opinion, but from beginning to end, I am hooked, and I love it, and the score is perfect. The acting is compelling, I would say, right, Frank?
Sure.
And the tech noir scene alone, you know where I'm going with this. That scene alone with just the tension build up, it builds and it builds and it builds, and then they get the iconic line with him grabbing her arm, "Come with me if you want to live." Come on! It's like, okay, yeah. This is the best thing since sliced bread. And I own The Terminator on Blu-ray and DVD. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's one of my all-time favorite movies.
No, that's great. It's up there for me as well. Absolutely. And you made a lot of really good points. I'm gonna have to revisit it with a new lens.
You got to get on it, son. Get on it. Get her done. In the words of Palpatine, do it. Do it. Just do it. Just in the words of Nike, just do it. By the way, Grayson has some thoughts for us. He says, well, first of all, Geek Man Masters of the Universe has good culture, in my opinion. Grayson says, the Highlander sequels degraded in quality rapidly. The first one is just wonderful. Just wonderful, according to him. No, it is. The first one is wonderful. I like it quite a bit. And it's funny because the guy who plays Highlander is the same guy who plays Lord Raiden in the original Mortal Kombat movie.
Which
Yes.
is wild. Which is wild.
Which is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, is it not, Frank? Is it not?
It is.
Yeah.
The second Highlander movie sucked so bad that when they made the third, they didn't even, they just tried to just not even acknowledge that the second even existed.
I forget what the subtitle was. What was the subtitle of the third one? Was it The Quickening?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that was The Quickening. Yeah, I have to look it up for sure. But
I was going to say the third one may have been The Quickening, and then Highlander, was it just called Highlander 2?
Yeah, I think it was just Highlander.
Oh, and then it was Highlander The Quickening, and then it did something called Highlander Endgame, which the only reason I know what that is
was
because
way later.
Which was way later, which is WWE superstar Edge played a part in Highlander Endgame. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah.
He was in it, and I was like, oh, Edge is in this? I saw a scene, and then that was it. I didn't even watch the rest of the movie. Sorry. Let's see. Geekman Master of the Thunder Nerd says, I am really looking forward to the Henry Cavill iteration of Highlander. It's a mix of dreading and excitement, equal parts. Laugh out loud. I'm curious to see where that goes, too, because I've been a Henry Cavill fan since Man of Steel. So
I'm with you.
I want to see where he goes, man, because I loved his iteration of Superman. I think he should have gotten his own trilogy, but unfortunately, WB and the people behind the scenes messed it up. So, yeah, but Man of Steel is still a great movie, and I love it to this day, Frank. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's a good flick.
Damn right. Grayson the Overcomer says T1 is almost a perfect. No, Grayson, it is a perfect movie. All right, don't mess with me on this, man. I will come for you. All right, it is a perfect movie. It's not almost a perfect movie. It is a perfect movie. Get those. These are the facts of the case, Frank, and they are undisputed. With that being said, this is Freewheeling Fridays. Don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions for us, let us know in the comments or the chat. And if you're watching us live or on the replay, also known as Memorax, there's a name from the past, right, Frank? Memorax. Hello there. Thanks for being here. So let's talk about this for a minute here, because we talked about music, video games. We talked about so many different things in a very short period of time. Hellstones, what exactly is this, and how did this come about?
Yeah, so Hellstones, that's my story, man. Yeah, it came about. I was sitting at a desk job and was bored out of my mind. It was a slow day, and I figured, I'd do a little creative writing. Like I said, I've kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. And I started with, if I was to have a main character in a story, what would I want it to be? And at the time, I was like, I think a female lead would be cool. And what would I want to see out of a female lead? I'd like to see that just every girl, just a Tom girl. The big chest and the tight spandex has its place in the world, but for me, I was like, let's start with something grounded. Let's just start with just someone normal, and that's kind of where I started the story. And then from there, like I said, it was a creative writing exercise almost, and I kind of just let it snowball into a one-page story. And that was back in 2015. And then over the years, I just kept finding myself coming back to it and building on it and building on it and building on it. But I really wanted to tell something that was just really a little more grounded as far as the consequences and the realism of how the people react and act. And I want to tell something different. I'd never heard of. There's been stories of magical items. People have attained the magical items and now they have abilities. But I was like, what's something different that I've never heard before? So these magical stones, these hell stones that grant people power, are actually remnants left over from Lucifer's wings. When he was cast out of heaven, his wings were cut off and they floated through space and time until they degraded and fossilized, and the little fossilized bits are the Hellstones. It's I don't know if I answered your question. I kind of tangented there, but
no, it's cool. You did. I mean, because I asked you how it came about, what is it about, what's the storyline, what's the premise, and you gave a description, didn't you? So you're fine. You didn't fail the exam, fellas. He didn't fail, guys. He didn't fail. No, we're gonna keep him around a little bit longer. Why the heck not? All good things, man. Congratulations on that. That's it's really cool, and that's a unique story. That's a unique premise too. What if his wings fell from the sky? People started finding him, and they're trying to figure out what to do with them. If they have powers, are they going to be used for the forces of good, or could they be used for the forces of evil? Are they going to make good choices by having this? Because as we all know, as our Uncle Ben taught us 25 years ago, with great power, Frank, comes great responsibility. So what do you do with this, right?
Yeah.
So, and do we think? I mean, is Lucifer completely gone? Is he destroyed, or is maybe there's a part of Lucifer that's still out there that wants to reclaim his wings? I don't know.
these are all questions. These are all questions. They are all answered in the overall story. Right now, I'm kickstarting just the prologue book.
Oh, okay.
Just to get everything up and running. But I actually have an entire 12-book series already written out, everything up to storyboarding. So page layouts, panel descriptions, the full story. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock on this and get the story out there.
Already got the Kevin Feige plan going on. It's like, all right, I know where this is going to go. This is going to lead into this. This is going to lead into that, and then it's going to end here, and we're going to have a great time doing it.
That's right. That's the plan. That's the plan.
In between, as one might say. No, that sounds cool. I mean, whether it's a battle between, and excuse me for being blunt, whether it's a battle between heaven and hell, angels and demons, who's going to overcome, who's going to win out, is good going to overcome evil, is evil going to win the day, whatever, are we going to succumb to these temptations? Are we going to succumb to these feelings, whatever it is? Those kinds of stories have been fascinating to me in a lot of ways because they've hinted at it, or they've played with it a lot in the TV series Supernatural during its initial 5-year run, which it should have ended at 5 years like the creator originally intended to. Eric Kripke, I'm looking at you. And he wanted to, but the studio was like, we're making too much money. We're going to milk this for all it's worth. And what did they do? They make it 15 freaking seasons, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Beyond ridiculous. Have you seen any episodes of Supernatural? Are you familiar with the series?
I've seen all of them.
Oh, you've seen all 15 seasons?
I've seen all of them, my man. All of them. And I agree with you. Should have ended after the 5th.
Yeah, but they did have some good Easter eggs with battles between heaven and hell, and like who could win out, or what if someone gets resurrected or they come back from the dead? What are they going to do? Right. So it's a fascinating thing to be learning about or diving into there, as one might say. Grayson has an interesting statement here. He says, "Oh, I've been studying the demons lately, and let me tell you, the potential is ripe for storytelling in general." Do you feel the same way, Frank?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, stories of the occult and demons and demonology and religion. I mean, that stuff that well will never run dry.
Never run dry. There you go. Being in the desert of Tatooine. No, I'm just kidding. That's a Star Wars reference. I'm sorry. But that's great stuff. Well, we want to take a moment, if you don't, here at Freewheeling Fridays, to say hello to all of you creators out there, all you people who are putting out Kickstarters and stories and storyboards, or if you're a colorist, if you're an inker, if you're a letterer, whatever it may be. We want to give you guys a shout out. You got a lot of great things coming your way very soon. You got things that are available to readers and audiences right now. So we're going to give these people a shout out. So take a look at these fine creators, if you will.
I am Bo-Katan, and you are watching us on Madness Comic Network.
Oh, thanks, Bo-Katan. Always good to see you. And hey, you're possessing the dark saber now, so at least you can keep it out of Darth Maul's hands or Maul's hands, whatever. Oh, you gotta admire cosplay. Speaking of which, have you been to any comic book conventions or Comic Cons, as they're known as? And if so, what has your experience been like?
Yeah. So the I've been to some small cons here in Nebraska. I mean, that's kind of really all that's here, small cons. But the first one I ever went to was Heroes Con, and that was actually last year. I had actually never made it to a convention, which was wild. But I finally made my way over to Charlotte, North Carolina for Heroes Con, and I was there on the vendor side of things as a colorist, helping promote the Mercenary Guild, the book that I just got done working on. So my first convention that happened to be a very large convention, and I was on the vendor side of things rather than on the patron side of things. So that was a pretty wild experience.
Any plans to be at any future conventions, or maybe table at these events, or maybe just go as an attendee, meet some of the celebrities, or maybe go into vendors or Artist Alley and meet some of the comic book writers or artists who were present there?
Yeah, absolutely. Really haven't gone out to any conventions really since then, aside from a couple small local ones here, and that was really just to meet other artists and network with artists in the region. But definitely want to get back out there, especially now that I'm done writing and I'm done creating this this prologue story. So it actually frees me up for some time. So I'm hoping to get around this summer maybe.
Awesome sauce, man. I mean, summer is ripe for Comic Cons. They're everywhere in the summertime, man. That is prime season. Like, that is prime, like Optimus Prime. You know, that's Optimus Prime. Speaking of which, that's an 80s show right there, Transformers. I'm sure you watched Transformers when you were a kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you an Optimus fan, or are you more of a Bumblebee or Starscream? Who's your favorite Transformer?
Oh, favorite? Probably Optimus, yeah.
Yeah, badass motherfucker. Yeah, not someone you want to mess with.
Right.
And by the way, Peter Cullen's a great voice actor. So
amazing.
Yeah. I had a brief interaction with him at GalaxyCon in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm wearing the shirt that I'm wearing right now has, you can't see it, but it's got Optimus at where is it? There he is, right there.
Oh,
there it is. Yeah. So it's got him on it. And I was like, yeah, I'll take my picture with him wearing this shirt because it has a little bit of Transformers swag on it. So that worked. Oh, look at this. Let me see that. Let's blow that up for a second. Oh, my goodness. Was that you? Did you put that together?
No. That was a local artist here in Omaha.
Get the frack out of here. Do they have an Etsy? Do they have a store? Are they on Instagram?
No.
They should be, because I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's actually a print of the original oil painting they did. That's an actual oil painting. I mean, well, this is the print of the oil painting.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to get me one of those. Whoever that artist is, let us know who they are so we can plug them at some point. That'd be nice.
I don't remember off the top of my head. But I'm sure I can figure it out.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you were a Vampirella fan either.
I wouldn't say I'm a Vampirella fan. I haven't really read much of the material. But this was actually done by Luke Aglietta.
Oh.
The guy that I was, the line artist I was working with on the Mercenary Guild.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. People, indie supports indie, artists supporting artists. That's what we do around here.
That's right. That's what all this stuff is back here.
Well, it looks nice. It's a very unique setup. I'll give you that.
Yeah. It's a little all over the place. And then, of course, I have, my art books over there, some comic books, and then all of my D&D books down over there as well.
Who do you like to play in D&D? Are you a dungeon master or something else?
I am a dungeon master. Unfortunately, I'm a forever dungeon master because no one else can pull their crap together.
Really? Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, you've been playing D&D for many years now, right? So you know a thing or two because you've done a thing or two. We are D&D. Sorry, that's my cheap imitation of the insurance commercial. I don't know if you're familiar with that. What is it called? We are farmer. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. just making sure everybody gets the reference, which is cool. No worries. So if someone is out there and they're watching or listening to this right now and they say to themselves, you know what, I want to be an indie comic writer or creator, or I want to be a colorist. What advice would you give to aspiring writers or colorists, or anything in those fields for that matter out there? What advice would you give them? Yeah, absolutely. Do it. No better time than right now. Do it. Jump out there, jump in, and just start
pulling resources. I mean, you got to do the work yourself. You got to find the tutorials. You got to find the people that you can connect with and maybe have some mentorship with. It's not just you're not going to figure it out through kismet or through osmosis. You have to be diligent and put in the work to find those resources, and most importantly, you got to develop a thick skin. Don't be afraid to be told this sucks or this doesn't look good or change this or edit that. If someone's telling you something like that and you're taking it as a negative, you got to remember feedback's a gift, and the person that's conveying that probably just doesn't know a better way to convey that, and so it's coming off as negative, but there's still something in there that they're trying to convey to you. So develop a tough skin and try and find what the root of what they're trying to tell you is, and just get out there and learn, and don't waste the time and just do it. Reach out to me. I don't believe in gatekeeping. I'll share whatever knowledge I can with you on being a colorist, my writing process, which probably isn't the best, but it gets me by. But I can talk about the copyright process. I've been through that. I can point you in those directions. On my YouTube channel, I live stream every now and again, and I put together tutorials on being a colorist and how to color render. So just do it. If you have an itch that you need to scratch, just do it.
Well spoken by the colorist, the immortal one, W. Frank. Walk on this. So, Freewheeling Fridays. No, that was great. Honest, really appreciate it. Grayson goes on to say, I enjoy being a dungeon master myself, but I'm all about fighter characters. I prefer light rule systems, though. Ring any bells for you? I'm sure. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, 5th edition is probably good for you. That's a pretty light rule system in comparison to, like something like 3.5 or something like that. I've always been partial to like a rogue or a thief character, sneaking around, stalking, dishonest, stabby.
Isn't that kind of, I don't know if this is an exact reference to this or not, but isn't it kind of the same thing that Chris Pine does in the new movie Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves?
A little bit. He's kind of like a bardic thief, sort of. Yeah.
All right. Did you enjoy the movie Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves?
I thought it was great.
Yeah. You looking forward to the next one? Are they supposed to be making a sequel or no?
I've heard both. I've heard that they were, and then they weren't, and then they are. So I don't know where it stands currently in the production world, but I hope so, because they've never come closer to nailing what it feels like to be a D&D player and live in that world at that table. I thought it was great.
Nice. Yeah. I heard good things about it. I haven't seen it all the way through. I've only seen promos or clips or trailers for it, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. But I'll have to go back and visit that and watch the movie. I heard good things about it, too. And Chris Pine's nothing to slouch at. I mean, the guy's been acting for years. Michelle Rodriguez is in it, and she's been acting since the Fast and Furious and Resident Evil days. So she's got experience being a badass character, right, Frank?
Absolutely.
Just throwing it out there, and she doesn't seem to have aged at all, really, too.
No, she's aging so well.
Yeah, it
really is.
I feel like every time we have one of these shows, someone or whoever the guest is, or even myself, bring up certain actors or actresses that don't seem to age very much. It just seems to stay the same. And Michelle Rodriguez being one of them. We talked about this earlier tonight on the Batman Forever. Nicole Kidman. I mean. Back in '95, that was prime Nicole Kidman, but even today, she's still looking dynamite. So I'm just, Anyone else have a Hollywood crush on Nicole Kidman? It's okay if there are individuals out there who do, because she's one of the few actresses who seems to have aged gracefully, Frank. So I don't know. Any Hollywood crushes spring to your mind?
Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly, yeah, and she seemed to be aging pretty well as well.
Mm-hmm. Top Gun Maverick a few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
she was in Top Gun Maverick as Penny Benjamin, the Admiral's daughter. That was mentioned in the first film, so they brought her into this new one. And it's funny you mentioned that, because the first time I ever saw Jennifer Connelly was prime Jennifer Connelly, and I'm referring to the little indie film called The Rocketeer.
The Rocketeer, yeah.
Dude, she was the love interest, and she was beyond beautiful. I mean, she was something out of another galaxy. For those of you who are familiar with The Rocketeer, if you know where I'm going with this, yeah. That was Jennifer Connelly. I'm just saying. Hello. Grayson says, she not only has aged well, she is still killing it with her work. Northman was awesome. Oh, really?
I haven't seen it.
I have not seen that either. Northman is Northman a Connolly film or the Kidman film? I'm not sure who you're referring to there, but if it's a Connolly film, I mean, either one, I would still,
Yeah.
sit down and give it a watch at least. I mean, if it's Jennifer Connelly or Nicole Kidman, it doesn't really matter to me at this point. I don't know. That's just me. I haven't seen her latest work, Frank, but someone
Sure.
who's aged pretty well, I would say Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's aged pretty well.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's what do you call it? She's Morticia Addams in the Wednesday series on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a totally different look. She's sporting a new look for that. New makeup, new hair, all that stuff.
Yeah. I thought she was great in that, by the way, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looks the part. She acts the part. I didn't think Catherine Zeta-Jones could pull off a Morticia Addams, but she's nailing it. Grayson says Northman stars Nicole Kidman. Oh, okay, that's a Kidman film.
Okay.
All right. Well, Frank and I will have to write this one down at some point, and we'll add it to
It's in here.
to be watch list, because my to be watch list is 600 miles long, Frank. I don't know how yours is, but it's pretty bad. Almost as bad as what you see behind me here. Can we blow this up, producers? Here it is. This is all TBR behind me. Okay, so all these containers, everything that you see before you, this is all TBR.
That's a good stack.
It's pretty bad, Frank. It's pretty bad. See this? This is what I gotta. It's a plethora, man.
It's rough.
Yeah, but the struggle is real. But I like to read. Frank likes to color. Frank likes to create, and he likes to read too. Because you've read your fair share of comics, if not books. Do you read? What are some of your favorite books, like books, like words on a page? Do you have any favorites that stand out to you?
Oh, geez, what did I just get done reading? It was actually a lit RPG series, which I had never gotten into before. But I am completely drawing a blank.
Oh, now I really got to know this.
Oh my lord! I'll have to look at my Audible account.
Okay.
Wasn't a physical book. I don't really have the time for physical books nowadays.
That's okay.
But one of my favorite book series, I would say, is The Black Company.
What's that?
Glenn Cook. That's a fantastic series. It's
what's it about?
Military fantasy.
Ooh.
Kind of, yeah. So it's nice. So you have this structure of this mercenary group, guns for hire, so to speak, and they're just traversing this fantasy world. So you have witches and wizards and spells and stuff like that in it as well. It's really great. That story started back in the 80s, and people are still waiting for the last book. So that's been a long. Yeah. Piers Anthony, I really like Incarnations of Immortality series. That's fantastic. I don't know if you've ever read that, but that's good stuff right there.
I'm not familiar with any of these titles or series, but I'm sure the person who's watching or listening right now, including myself, I'm very interested in this stuff.
Yeah, Incarnations of Immortality is a fantastic series. It kind of takes the concept of like nature, time, God, Satan, all of these things are actual positions held by people. And each book is dedicated to a specific incarnation. And they all interweave and tell a big overarching story over, I think it's like 8 books. But it's really fascinating and really cool concept.
That's fascinating. I might have to look these up. Maybe if there are any copies available on thriftbooks.com or whatever, or even Amazon, that's fine too. You have to look that up. Grayson, you're kind of interested in this stuff too, so you and I are gonna have to swap some notes here when we get a chance to do that. We'll have to add this to our what do you call it, shopping list or our wish list on Amazon? I don't know. I may have to get in touch with Frank here. We'll get some more information if we need it. But that's interesting. Thanks for sharing that with us, Frank. Appreciate that, because I like to read different genres, and if I want to dive into something a little bit different, I'm always open to hearing people's recommendations or things that they've experienced before. So for you saying that here on this episode of Freewheeling Fridays, don't forget to like and share you, by the way. We appreciate you doing that. In the words of DJ Khaled, I appreciate you. So, it's a gift. People use it all the time on social media. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. But okay, all right. So you know where I'm going with this, man. Smart man. This is why we pay Frank the big bucks. Well, I do. Oh my gosh, I'm just throwing it out there. Are there any writers, letterers, colorists, inkers that you hope to work with somewhere down the line?
No. In short, no. I've been doing this kind of by the seat of my pants, and right now the thing that I want to do is I want to tell my story, and that's really all I'm focused in on. So as far as beyond that, as far as my career as a colorist, or maybe I'll pivot into just being a writer, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds beyond just getting this book out into the world.
All right, fair enough. Just thought I'd be the guidance counselor and says, well, what is your 5-year plan? No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Not to play devil's advocate. I'm just, but I get it. And congratulations on Hellstones. Sounds fascinating. Sounds really good. We're going to have to check it out. Grayson, I think you should check this out as well, for sure. Well, we do want to take this opportunity to thank W. Frank Wall for being our guest on this episode of Freewheeling Fridays. Frank, thanks for being here. It was great to see you. Great to meet you, talk with you, get to know you a little bit better. I learned a lot of fascinating new things that I didn't expect to learn, but that's the beauty of doing these shows. You never know what you're going to get, right? Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So, right.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Definitely a wild ride. I love the conversation.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you're more than welcome to come back here at any point in time, for sure, whether it's your next Kickstarter or you just want to shoot the breeze, talk about some stuff that is dropped on the nerdy news cycle that you want to discuss. Or what may have you. But Frank, thanks for being here once again. If someone wants to know more about you or take a look at Hellstones, where can they follow you?
Absolutely. The best place you can go is pigmacast.com. That's my website. I got links to everything from there, whether it be my socials or the Kickstarter campaign. Otherwise, feel free to just Google search W. Frank Walk. You'll find me. I'll come up. Feel free to message me on any social media.
Giddy up, man. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Wish you the best of luck with Hellstones. It's starting to come out. Your vision is starting to come true. Dreams are happening.
That's right.
So good on you, man. Thanks for being here. I'm going to talk to you again here momentarily. So in the words of Arnold, stick around. My name is Ryan of Anti-Code Channel. Follow me across all forms of social media. Simply at, where am I pointing to? Where is it? There it is. Right there. At Anti-Code Channel. At Anti-Quote Channel, we embrace the nerd within you, so we talk about all things movies, TV shows, comic books, words on a page. We do talk about a lot of great indie creators who are out there, or creators in general, who've got great Kickstarters coming your way very soon, or they're going on right now, or they have happened in the past. Feel free to go back and revisit those episodes. They're a lot of fun. They've been a lot of fun, and we look forward to bringing you more as we go throughout the year of 2025 and beyond. And thank you for being a part of this episode of Freewheeling Fridays. They drop on Fridays, 11 o'clock Eastern time, just to give you a friendly neighborhood reminder. There's a Spider-Man reference there for you, Frank. There you go. You're welcome. But in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when the videos go up or they go live. And if you want to know more about the craziness that ensues on the Madness Entertainment Group, take a look at this.